this is one of the more difficult things about control, because you ask, what is actually freedom? Is freedom to do what I want, but do I really want to do this? Or has this been conditioned by my culture? And why do people actually just go to, say, Subiaco Oval or the Wacker and just watch a few people just kick a ball around, shouting backwards and forwards, and then sort of your team loses anyway and you go home miserable? When you look at just the Australian sport of AFL, I think there's 16 teams in that league. Every year 15 teams are disappointed and upset, and only one team has any happiness that year. So whatever team you support, you've got 15 to 1 chance of being miserable for one whole year. But why is it that people do that? Because actually it's almost conditioned to it. It's our national sport. We have to do it. Why is it, for example, one of my experiences as a young man is being like 14 years of age, being rebellious, being with my mates, a bit of peer pressure, but also being rebellious, going to take my first glass of beer. The drinking age was 18, I was only 14. Sneak in there, I take a glass of beer, thinking how clever I am, how rebellious. And taking my first glass of beer, I couldn't believe just how disgusting that tasted. I did see in the newspapers there was a suggestion of actually Perth drinking recycled wastewater, from your toilets. And that's what I thought beer was, somehow recycled from the lavatory, because that's what it tastes like. Even actually people do call it piss in Australia. So that must be recycled from somewhere. But it tasted awful. But because my culture, this was in London, said that beer is fun, beer is good, beer is what you're supposed to enjoy, and you spend a lot of money and many evenings drinking this stuff, it only took me about 3 or 4 months to start to like the taste. And once I became a monk and I look back on that experience, I thought, why did I like that? Because I had to. I completely reconditioned myself to go against my natural instincts of disliking the taste of beer to actually thinking it was delicious. And being a monk, when you stand back and you watch these things, how much more of what I think I like is actually being conditioned into me because I have to like it, because my society says I must like it. How free are you, or how much have you been controlled? Like, some girls, they don't want to have a boyfriend. They just want to be, free by themselves. But sometimes society, you've got to get a boyfriend. Your mother and father, when are you going to find a boyfriend? When are you going to get married? When are you going to have a child? And the pressure is on you. And sometimes, that because of that pressure, we get conditioned into doing what other people want. And this is a big problem for human beings. The pressure to conform. The pressure to do what other people want, to please others. How much is that feeling like you're being controlled? So much so that a lot of people get into frustration, anger, depression.